Thomas Gray's Elegy written in a country churchyard is one of the most enduring works of 18th century English literature. Written in 1751, the poem reflects on mortality, the lives of common people, and the inevitability of death. Its meditative tone and universal themes resonate across time, making it a cornerstone of the graveyard school of poetry, a movement characterized by reflections on death and the passage of time.
Gray's contemplative verses, enriched with vivid imagery and profound thoughts, immortalize the quiet dignity of rural life and the inevitability of human mortality. The poem opens at dusk as the speaker contemplates a tranquil countryside churchyard. Surrounded by the graves of ordinary villagers, he reflects on the simplicity of their lives and the inevitability of death, regardless of social status. Gray mourns the unfulfilled potential of the deceased, recognizing that lack of opportunity, rather than ability, kept them from greatness. He also acknowledges that ambition and fame are futile in the face of mortality. The speaker suggests that the humble villagers are shielded from the corruption of power and the vanity of wealth. He concludes by expressing a desire for remembrance and a legacy of virtue over fame. The poem ends with an epitaph, purportedly for the speaker himself, which humbly accepts mortality while celebrating a life lived in harmony with nature and moral principles. The poem consists of 32 quatrains, written in heroic quatrains, ABAB rhyme scheme, with Iambic pentameter. This formal structure lends the poem a sense of order and solemnity, fitting for its contemplative subject matter. Gray's choice of diction is elegant yet accessible, blending classical allusions with vivid imagery of rural life. On mortality and the inevitability of death. The central theme is the universality of death. Gray emphasizes that death is the great equalizer, affecting the rich and poor alike. This somber reflection invites readers to consider their own mortality. 2. The dignity of the common man. Gray celebrates the quiet lives of the rural villagers, suggesting that their simplicity shields them from the corruption and anxieties of ambition. He mourns the obscurity of their lives, but honors their moral virtue and contentment. 3. Unfulfilled potential. The poem laments the unrecognized talents and opportunities of the deceased. These mute, inglorious Miltons represent the potential greatness that circumstances or poverty stifled. 4. Futility of fame and ambition. Gray critiques the pursuit of fame and wealth, noting their ultimate irrelevance in the face of death. He elevates virtue and inner peace above worldly success. 5. Nature and the Sublime. Nature plays a central role in the poem, providing a serene backdrop for reflection. The imagery of the churchyard, trees, and surrounding fields creates a sense of timelessness and solace. The churchyard, a symbol of mortality and the final resting place of both ordinary and extraordinary lives. Evening and dusk represent the end of life and the transition into death. Graves, emblems of equality in death, underscoring the inevitability of mortality. Nature symbolizes the eternal cycle of life and death, offering solace and continuity. The paths of glory lead but to the grave. A powerful reminder that human achievements are ultimately transient in the face of death. Full many a flower is born to blush unseen, and waste its sweetness on the desert air. This metaphor highlights the unfulfilled potential of the deceased, likening them to beautiful flowers that bloom in obscurity. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day, The lowing herd winds slowly o'er the lea. These opening lines set the tranquil and reflective mood of the poem, blending natural and rural imagery. The final stanzas serve as an epitaph, ostensibly for the speaker. It encapsulates the humility and moral focus of the poem, eschewing fame for a legacy of virtue and integrity. The epitaph conveys a life lived with honesty, devotion to nature, and resignation to the inevitability of death. Elegy, written in a country churchyard, was an immediate success upon publication and remains a landmark in English literature. Its blend of classical and romantic sensibilities influenced poets like William Wordsworth and the broader Romantic movement. The poem's universal themes of mortality, nature, and human dignity have secured its place as a timeless meditation on life and death. Thomas Gray's Elegy, written in a country churchyard, is a profound exploration of mortality, the dignity of rural life, and the futility of worldly ambition. Through its evocative imagery and reflective tone, the poem invites readers to find solace in the natural world and to value a life of virtue and simplicity. Gray's masterpiece continues to resonate, offering timeless wisdom for readers seeking meaning in life's fleeting journey.